Hello, and welcome back to another Minecraft Let's Play video with me, Elven Dragon. So last episode we went and built up this little lab here, as well as the interiors of two other little buildings that we started previously that are in this little research lab area. And I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. As you can see, there's still nothing in our research tanks, but that makes sense because we still don't have any water in our and ocean. But that is going to change shortly because as you can see down here, we're done. Everything is in and it is about time that we start getting some water down here. But before we do that, there are just a few little things I want to get done around here first. Namely, there's a few little builds that I want to put down here in the end ocean that would be a lot easier to put in before we get the water in. And that's because, well, once we get the water in here, it's going to get really hard to build anything down here. We'll have to be fighting with lack of air, or we'll have to go deal with water breathing potions or find our conduits, and that's a bit of a hassle. So we kind of need to get those in before we get the water in. That and although all of this groundwork here is done, we still only have one layer of glass. But I have a few things I want to place down here. And first is I want to do a little ocean temple thing down here. Now, originally I was thinking that maybe we could do basically just something like a small little ocean monument right in this area, I think. This is a nice big area because this is where the layer here goes out a lot more to accommodate for the indent in the island. But again, is that a glow squid? That is a glow squid. We have had several glow squid down here apparently. Um, I thought that you didn't spawn in the end anymore. I thought that bug was fixed and that was changed. Um, Apparently we didn't have to build that whole glow squid spawning area. They're just gonna spawn naturally out here anyway. And all we needed was just a bunch of name tags. Although, can we just put them on a lead? I think, and that should make them so they don't despawn. Although, if I'm not mistaken, they should still suffocate in, yep, they still suffocate in 1 block deep water. That might be a bit of an issue. So we may have to play around with that, but that is good to know that they will just naturally spawn out here. That means we just need to drag the regular squids and the dolphins out here, and that will be a lot less work than trying to get some glow squid. Squid distractions aside, I was thinking right in here would be a good place for that little ocean temple thing. And originally I was thinking that we could probably do this based off the ocean monument, but I've got a little bit better idea that I think will look a lot nicer. So head out to show you kind of what I've got for an idea, and then I'll be right back. And here we are. This is going to be our inspiration for what we're going to be building for our end ocean temple. Yes, we're taking something else from this end city here other than just the boat that's going away. We got an Enderman. Anyway, as I was saying, nope, they can get in here. Anyway, as I was saying, before we kind of got rudely attacked, I'm thinking we're gonna take some bits from this end city, High Shulker, and use them for our little end ocean temple. Now, what I'm thinking is we're actually going to basically take the main front section here. Apparently, we haven't actually done a whole lot in this whole thing. There's still loot in those chests. Just some beetroot seeds. Alright, never mind. But anyway, what I think that we are going to do is we are basically going to take that main bottom section all the way at the bottom, and we are basically going to flip it upside down, make a few modifications, change some colors around, and use that as our design for the ocean monument for the end. Basically, we're just going to replace the purple with some prismarine, and I think that'll look really nice. That'll just give it a nice little bit of a underwater vibe. Might rearrange how it's arranged a little bit. Basically, I want to put the larger section on the bottom and have it decrease so it looks a little bit more like a bit of a temple. But we just need to play around with that and see how that goes. So, now that we have that, I am going to go head on back to the main island. Hopefully don't get any more Endermen. And try very, very hard to avoid them because we only have one rocket left. So we only have one more quick getaway in the event of an emergency or an accidental fall into the void. So I'm going to go get that area for the temple set up and then I'll be right back. All right, so there we go. We now have an area here completely marked out. And, well, I've got two ideas. Either what we're going to do is we're basically going to take the layers of the main entranceway and we're just going to flip them around. So the big layer on top will be on the bottom, or we'll just flip the whole structure upside down, which I think is what we're going to start with, actually. So, what I think we're going to do here is we are going to start here. So, this layer here is going to be where the end rods are, which means that our floor layer is going to be one block up. So we need to go and do that. And this is going to be the roof section here. I don't know if this is what we're actually going to do, but this is going to be the start. I'm not sure if I'm going to like this too much. So we may end up doing it the other way around. But I wanted to try this first. This puts our prismarine at the bottom. I think it'll do better as the roof anyway, but we won't know until we try. So we might as well do a little bit of experimenting with this. So we'll start with this. We'll get the first layer of this in, and then we'll see how it looks and how we want to continue from there. So I'm going to go get this first layer in. We're not going to do anything on the inside just yet. I'm not quite sure how I want to decorate it yet, but we'll get this first layer in and then we'll be back to take a look at how it turns out. All right, so there we go. That is the bottom layer in, or I suppose the top layer of the structure. I love how that kind of turned out. I think get our pickaxe out here. What we need to do for this is we just need to get rid of the glass on here. I think for the upper layers, we can definitely look at including the glass for those, but I think on this bottom layer, it'll look a lot better without the glass in these holes. These also kind of look a bit more like openings here. But after doing all of that, I think we need to lower this down by a block. Wasn't quite sure how this was going to turn out, but I do like that actually. It really kind of looks kind of an oceany temple kind of idea. It's definitely working out better than I thought it might. May have to do something with endstone and prismarine later. Definitely something I want to play around with again later. But for right now, I think we just need to go and lower this by a floor and get the rest of these floors in. So, I guess we gotta tear all this down and lower it by a block. And then I'll be right back. Alright, so for what started as kind of a silly idea, actually turned out pretty nicely. I do like how that looks sitting on the ground there. I'm not sure about having the glass in there. Glass might have to go. But we have all three layers in, and all we need to do is we just need to get the roof here in on this last one. And well, since this doesn't have any roof on the actual thing, because this is just the actual floor base, we might as well try and style this to be like the rest of them. So we need to have our corners, put our end rods there. What I don't know is, are we going to go and set this? Man, that's going to be interesting there. Anyway, so what I don't know is if we're going to add another layer on top of this. Because this is an 8x8 here at the bottom, so we could go up once more and add a 6x6 on top of this. But I'm not quite sure. I do like how the end rods here look dangling down from the corners. I think that turned out really, really well. So maybe we'll do that and bring this down again because we do have enough materials to do that. I'm not sure on the glass. We do have some glass to make it teal instead, but we don't quite have enough panes to do that. So we may have to go get some more teal dye somewhere. But before we do that, let's go and add another layer. So for that, we just need to go in another block, 3 up with our dark prismarine, which I have been loving. This is what we used to replace the purple pillars. The bricks are just replacing the regular purple. And I do like how that turned out. I think the dark prismarine adds just a nice little bit of color here. So, don't know where we'd put windows on this though. That is the thing. So, maybe we just won't put windows in here and we'll just have this be solid? Or actually, do that. And as you can see, we don't have any actual floors between the different layers. I didn't think that that would be particularly good, especially since we're not really going to be going onto those layers anyway. So I figured it would be nice just to have the top of this just be open. Don't think we're going to have it be fully open though, so we may have to figure out a better roof. Again, I think we're going to do the same kind of thing here. We need to get our corners in just so that those are set up. Do our end rods later. Normally we do up. There we go. That works. That will do just fine there. So now that we have that sorted, we just need the main part of the roof. So we could just do a flat roof. That is kind of what these normally have. Or at least the right side up versions normally just have a flat roof. So maybe we'll do that. And maybe we'll just do a layer of slabs or something on top of that. And that's actually all of our stairs. Let's see, let's take a look. I like that. That actually works pretty well. Yeah, I think we need maybe a layer of stairs. I don't want to go up another layer. Don't think we could. Although if we go up another layer, it's just going to be 2 blocks of endstone in the middle, and yeah, I think adding the extra layer on top works. I think the glass has got to go then. So I like that. I think maybe we'll take some slabs on top. So let's see, that should be what, 4x4? That should be pretty easy to get a nice little simple slab roof on top, just to go up a little bit higher than the rest of it. All right, there we go. It looks like an Enderman has gone and stolen some of our gravel. Good thing we should be able to flood this soon and we won't get any more down here. There we go. That is our little temple area. I think that looks okay. And we still have to figure out the inside here, but and get rid of all this glass again. It's just not looking right. And as much as I like it, I don't think the glass in the windows here is going to look very good. I think it looks better open. I mean, we can try the teal. We've got enough for maybe one side, I think. And we can see how that looks, but I don't have much hope for it looking any better than the magenta did. I think it has to do with the fact that we have the windows on the bottom layer here. And also, as you can see, have windows all the way around on the top layer here, or it's the second to top layer here. And a regular end city that layer that would correspond to would normally have a staircase on the one side, so there wouldn't be any windows. And, well, we don't need a staircase, so we can put windows all the way around to match the other layers of the building. But again, we'll try the cyan. Let's put a couple in here and see how it looks. Kinda like it, but it looks a little weird. I think the cyan is definitely an improvement over the magenta, but I think having the glass in there is just not going to work. So we'll take that out, and then we get to figure out decorating this place. All right, and there we go. We've added a little bit of texture to kind of make this thing look a little bit more worn and like it's kind of been abandoned for many, many years. So we've got prismarine replacing some of our prismarine bricks. We've got some endstone replacing some of our endstone bricks. And I think it turned out okay. As you can see on the inside here, it's very, very simple. We've just got one small little altar here. I suppose we could probably put a statue maybe in the center here. That probably would have worked. Except I'm not exactly very good at building statues, so let's not try risking that. Already tried to do that once. It did not turn out great. But structure-wise, I am very much liking how this little temple here has turned out. And I think it looks great. Can't wait to see it underwater, but that is going to have to wait a little bit longer because I think that that is going to be it for today. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing if you want to see more of what's going on in this end hub and in the rest of this world. And I will catch you all in the next one. Goodbye.